Manhunt by Los Angeles police may have finally paid off. I'm Kiran Chetry. A brutal attack at a Dodgers game, and police say the man responsible is now behind bars. The victim, though, is still fighting for his life on This American Morning. Joplin, Missouri heard those tornado warnings go off. Many ran to seek safer ground, but boy, the devastation is just coming to light today.
That's right, and now 12 hours later, life has certainly changed in Joplin, Missouri. A powerful tornado ripped that city up. I'll be talking more about this story with Peter Flax, the editor of Bicycling magazine.
The way they make it sound, it's not. It was just a systemic abuse.
He makes it sound as though this is the way cycling
works. Right. All right, well, we're going to talk much more about that. Meantime, we're going to check in with the governor of Missouri, Jay Nixon. He's going to be joining us to talk more about the search and rescue, the devastation, and the plan for the state. As we said, he activated the National Guard, needing all the help they can get because of this devastating tornado.
And also the impact of an earthquake and tsunami on a very big...
It was the volcano that nobody could pronounce, remember? That literally brought air traffic to a halt. Well, now there's another volcano that also is erupting. This is a more active volcano, but now the ash blowing toward Britain. 50 minutes past the hour right now. Let's get you caught up on your headlines. Live pictures now of Joplin. And you're caught up on the day's headlines. American Morning will be back after a quick break. Minutes past the hour right now. U.S. Defense Secretary Robert Gates gave the commencement speech at Notre Dame on Sunday in front of 30,000. 53 minutes past the hour right now. U.S. Defense Secretary Robert Gates gave the commencement speech at Notre Dame on Sunday in front of 30,000.
Self-deprecation always works.
Yeah, it always does. But, you know, it's a hard time to be giving these speeches for these college graduates because, look, they're graduating with more debt than they've ever any graduating class ever has. We now have, folks, more student loan debt than credit card debt for the first time in history. That's expected to happen this year.
Is it people having to borrow more, or it just costs more?
Costs more. They're having to borrow more. They have less cash in the bank. Their parents don't have money in the house to tap anymore. So some advice for you for our Smarter Than Your Rich segment about how to make sure that college debt remains good debt. Try to borrow less than you're expected for school, or you're going to go on to some extended degree. Try to get your undergrad in 3 years. In my book, I've got a lot of different schools that do it, and there are some schools that if you ask, they will let you model your own 3-year program.
So college is not, wait a minute, so you can get this straight. College is not supposed to be a 4-year party with some learning in between?
No, not anymore. For Generation X it was. And sorry guys, we got to do that, but you don't get to.
This 3-year deal, are you working 25% harder to get it all crammed in?
You're working in the summer and you're working harder. You got to be serious. But think, if you're going to be in school for like 7 or 8 years, Rob, and it's going to cost, you know, $10,000, $15,000 a year, you can't afford to have a 4th year of an undergrad.
I got to think, at some point you burn out. At some point you burn out. Because a lot of these kids also 4 years, they're also working. I mean, we joke around about the but they're also working to pay for it. So you're waiting tables, you're trying to study. I mean,
But that shows a level of seriousness about a student that I think employers also like too. They like to hear that, oh yeah, I worked my way through college. They really like to hear that. But look, we're the only country in the world that doesn't allow, college is not some place to find yourself before you go in the real world. The rest of the world is going to college so they can eat our lunch. So we have to be a little more serious about it.
Good
and it
pep
just
rally. I like that.
Actually, Gates cheered me up more than Christine.
I'm sorry. I just mean, come on. It's great.
You don't get them all bang for your buck. You got to work harder.
Trying to save you money, folks. Just trying to save you money.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Your top story's coming up right after this. Dominic Strauss-Kahn. I'm Kiran Chetry. 3 more women now stepping forward, describing his unwanted attention on This American Morning.
Good morning. It's Monday, May 23rd. A lot. News this morning, weather news this morning, another very dangerous and devastating storm overnight.
Yeah, as we speak, they're conducting search and rescues, trying to find more survivors after a tornado tore through Joplin, Missouri last night. A little bit rounding out the picture for us of this. We're seeing some of the aerials again, and when you see what it looks like from the air, I mean, there is nothing quite like the destruction of a tornado. These
and potential. And you know, and here's the thing. With all the debris that's on the ground, if you get winds just gusting...
And you're just thinking about all those search and rescue crews out there trying to, A, clear debris, but also look for survivors. Hopefully it'll go through quickly.
It'll go through quickly, but if you're listening to us on satellite...
Well, after an all-out manhunt, Los Angeles police now have a suspect in connection with the brutal attack of a Giants fan back on opening day. 13 minutes past the hour, another volcano erupting in Iceland, shutting down all of
his routes and traveling. He touched down in Ireland this morning, the first stop in a...
You got your green on today, so at least for today. Yeah. Brianna Keeler, thanks so much.
Big announcements, meanwhile, for the GOP presidential ticket. It's official. Republican Tim Pawlenty is running
against Lance Armstrong when it comes to doping. Another...
Lance Armstrong's former teammate is accusing the cycling legend of taking performance-enhancing drugs while training for the Tour de France.
EPO, by the way, is a banned substance, one of the ones they test for, that boosts red blood cells. And also Armstrong on the cover of and this was interesting, like we all did. It's the impression that you're left with him, and he seemed like a reluctant, obviously, interview, perhaps a reluctant witness before the grand jury, but it makes it seem like this is just de rigueur in cycling.
Well,
Is that the case?
I think the era that Lance
Armstrong allegedly made the test, quote, go away, this positive test for EPO. If true, is that sort of the piece of evidence that could do him in?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. You know, George Hink
from these guys, because they have always
They've been caught lying and cheating before.
First they were either cheating and lied about it, or they were lying about not. You know, I mean, it makes it a tough witness.
Right. I mean, individually, it's easy.
He supposedly doped as often as some of these witnesses say. Why was he never caught?
Well, there's lots of people that were never caught that, you know...
We encourage people to read the cover story because it's a great one. Bicycling Magazine editor-in-chief Peter Flex, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Peter. Top stories now. The Pakistani Navy says a base in Karachi...
at least advance warning, hopefully, and hopefully it'll pass through quickly.
Yeah, this one will.
All right, Rob Marsano, thanks so much. Meanwhile, we have been asking you guys with our question of the day, who do you think in the GOP field could beat the president potentially?
Okay, so the presidential race wide open for Republicans. Who's going to take on President Obama in 2012? Former Minnesota Governor Tim Pawlenty.
46 minutes past the hour. Time for a look at your headlines this morning. At least 89 people are dead and up to 30% of American Morning will be back after a quick break. Well, the field is set now for next weekend's running of the Indianapolis 500. It'll be the 100th anniversary of the big race.
That's right. Here to talk about a wild weekend of qualifying and the upcoming big event. Three of the best.
He came by one time a couple weeks ago. Welcome to all of you.
Just recently?
That's right.
He did.
Working it.
Yeah.
We actually, if it makes you feel better, talked more about Dancing with the Stars. I feel
it's true.
Right.
It's true.
Right.
And his baby.
And my little girl, that's correct. But she's, let me tell you, she's getting bigger. And for the first hit, that's it. Now I made it. So
that's
that
more
was great.
important than
Danica, you've had a
Did
really...
you think that when she was waking you up? They were like, no more
One of those
Papa.
things. That is great. So
Call
far
for
right now, it's been good.
Now, you said you had a drama-filled weekend. This was a big weekend.
Yeah, you know, we practiced all week. Practice was going good. Qualifying day came, and all of a sudden, where'd the speed go? And we didn't qualify on the first day.
You ran out of gas, which means that you start 9 in row 3 rather than the pole position. What happened?
Well, I didn't think we're going to...
Just so people who understand, I mean, you got 32 positions, and you're trying to be in the front row, obviously. Can you make it up? How hard is it?
You can make it up, but it takes a long time in the race because...
I'm going to need the downforce to be able to work my way up there, so it's going to be a guessing game as to where you need to be for it.
So tell us psychologically what this week is going to be like for you guys. I mean, this is, first of all, it's the 100th anniversary, so it's a big deal. It's always a big deal anyway, but I mean, what do you do to prepare?
We unfortunately haven't done a lot of race running.
And also, how about the personal relationships? It's really interesting. I mean, you guys are all, you know, young and attractive and, you know, fun. I mean, do you guys all hang out together when you're not racing?
Last night we sat and had a beer together.
Yeah, we did.
I need it, actually.
We all did after yesterday. But it's a funny relationship. All right, yeah.
It's like putting on your armor, I bet.
The difference of the two is incredible.
I'm not looking what's behind. Just I'm going to look forward.
Because you're looking for your 4th Indy title.
Yes.
And what would it feel like to win it on the 100th anniversary?
It would be an...
Well, you guys all obviously are pros. You know what you're doing. You're the defending champ. We wish you the best of luck. We'll be watching for sure. It's going to be a fun weekend. Not for you guys probably, but for us watching.
Hopefully it is.
It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
If your teammates the night before take you out for shots, just say no.
Yes. Don't let them trick you there.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.
56 minutes past the hour.